It went to the wrong camera. Give me 1 minute, folks. Sorry. There we go. Now it's going to be right.
I still am at 5 seconds.
Oh, because that's it.
So, yeah.
You'll see me pop on for 1 second, and then it'll be back to you two. Told you, it was me for a second. I fixed it, though. Oh, King voice.
Good, and now. Alright, so are we good? I'm gonna put my phone here. Oh, let me turn this down.
So your vibe's on now.
I know, right?
Okay, there you go.
There we are. Okay, good. Do you want to do the intro like you usually do?
Would you like me to?
He's
You want me to do it from that side or this side?
Whatever you want.
Come over here.
You want to come over here? Climb over.
Behind backstage.
Backstage.
Hello.
You
ready for me to go ahead?
I am ready for you.
All right. Hello, welcome to TMSM Weekly Live, show number 43 for March 4th, 2019. I am Scott Atwood, who will be behind the scenes tonight on camera. You have Michelle Atwood, our host, and our special guest this week, Cindy Simmons.
Yay!
So I will let you two get on with the show. Good luck. Have a great show.
Thank you.
I will be back there feeding you questions.
We'll be staring at you.
Exactly.
Yes. So, as Scott said, we have my friend Cindy with us today, and if you watched her show last week, I was on her Coffee Combo Wednesday show. So, you know, one good turn deserves another, and I'm like, will you come and do mine? Before we really get into things, because you know it's going to be a fun show as usual, make sure that you share this video with your friends so that we can get our random silliness and fun out to as many people as we can. Because this is going to be a good one.
I'm excited. I'm super excited to be there.
And we talk a lot.
A lot.
We're going to try not to keep you guys up all night. When Cindy and I get together, we talk for like hours.
Like, she's not even exaggerating. Like, hours and hours and hours. So much so that I have two daughters, and when we came home from one of our outings, my oldest daughter was like, you guys were literally there for like 5 hours.
It's true. But that's a good thing.
I think it's a great thing.
Okay, so I thought Scott is going to be behind the camera watching your comments. I don't have my computer with me like usual, but I do have my phone just in case for anything. And Scott's going to be watching and if you have any questions. But in the meantime, I wanted to start with Cindy telling you a little bit about herself. She does, like I said, she has a live show on Facebook, Coffee Combo Wednesdays on Facebook. Live video on Facebook. And she also is on the radio here at Z84.3. She is the midday show. And she has a really fascinating background on all kinds of things. So take it away, Cindy.
So obviously my name is Cindy. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. So I grew up near Disneyland. So that was kind of like my second childhood home. I spent most of my childhood and part of my adult life going to Disneyland, California, which I loved. And my background is also radio. So I have worked in radio my whole life. And the first station I worked at is where Ryan Seacrest works at now, called Kiss FM.
Oh, yeah.
So when I worked at Kiss FM, we had a syndicated radio show that we used to do from Disneyland, California, called Hanging with Hollywood, and it was every Sunday night. So I would literally, when I was like 20 years old, go to Disneyland every Sunday and work on the show. And we would have all these crazy, fun guests. Like, that was the time I got to meet Vanilla Ice.
Oh.
And we took this picture, and I'm like this, like, trying to be all cool.
Yeah.
That's my Vanilla Ice pose. What's up, Vanilla Ice? So,
Was he impressed with that?
no.
No.
And the thing that you have to know about me is I am tragically unhip and uncool, like, completely. So, like, me posing like that with Vanilla Ice was super nerdy and dorky, but in that moment, I probably thought it was cool. So, but so I worked in radio my whole life and grew up in California, lived in Nashville and Atlanta, where I was also on the radio, and then came to Florida about a year and a half ago. And literally the first day that we moved to Orlando, Florida, our family was featured in a video for the Disney Parks blog to promote Disney Springs. So we went and did like a back to school shopping thing at Disney Springs that was super cool. And then we have been really fortunate enough to have done a couple of Disney Parks vlogs videos, mostly because we have a 6-year-old daughter who's super cute. So I think it's more about her, not so much us.
It's
We're just
helpful,
like,
right?
yeah.
I think it's funny the comments are coming up. Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Everybody's
Collaborate and
Everybody's
sing.
talking about vanilla.
You said vanilla ice and they all kind of.
It's so funny. So now that I live here in Florida, like I literally have driven by A1A, and every single time I'll be in the car driving with my family, and I'll see it, and I'm like, Beachfront Avenue! And my daughters are always like, what's that?
Like, what is that? What is
I'm like, oh, the greatest line ever from a song ever.
That's so funny because when I see it now too,
Thank you.
I'm just like, because what?
Well, you can't say A1A. You have to sing it when you say it.
A1A. Beachfront Avenue.
And then you got to start the kick step.
What's funny is that when a song first came out, we're from Detroit, and everybody in our high school thought they were saying Detroit Avenue. Detroit Avenue.
Detroit.
It kind of goes too.
It
And I'm
does.
like, no, it's not what he's
Vanilla would have never made it in
Vanilla
Detroit.
would have It wasn't the 313 that they were talking about. Sorry, it was Florida. And it's so funny, but back then you're like, that's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was pretty exciting seeing A1A for the first time going, oh, it was like, oh, it's real. Like A1A is like legit a real place. Like
it's a real thing.
legit. Like,
It
no,
is.
yeah, that's me
Too
trying to
legit.
be too legit
to quit. That's right. See, this is gonna be a messy show, but they're used to it. No, it's just, and I was telling you the other day, and our viewers are very used to sidebars, right, you guys? Like,
I love when you do sidebar.
I do it far too often.
Well, my life is like a sidebar, so I'm so used to it.
I literally cannot help myself when it comes to like look at, you're talking about vanilla ice. We had nothing. There's no vanilla ice on my notes, and then I'm like, oh yeah, back when I was in high school, we thought they said Detroit, and then so it happens, and it's probably gonna happen a lot.
But that's real life to me. Like you're keeping it real. Like that's if you and I are sitting having coffee, which we've done before. It's almost like one of my best friends says. It's like you don't have to write a list and keep it down. Like okay, so we got sidebar, and then we're gonna go back to talking about that sidebar, and then let's go back to this sidebar and back and forth. So I think that's part of being real.
And I think, like we have discussed before, that being real is super important because then you just, if you're your authentic self, no matter who you meet and where you go, there's nothing to keep up.
Right.
What you see is what you get.
That is
right. And that's how we do this show.
Yes.
So before we get into talking Disney and such, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who came out to our mini meetup on Saturday at Hollywood Studios. Our mini meetup turned into much bigger of a meetup, which is always wonderful. It's always such a humbling, wonderful thing for me to show up someplace and see people actually waiting to say hi to us.
There were tons of people there. I saw the pictures. We were actually supposed to go. Our family was supposed to go. I'm battling a little sore throat situation. And you kind of need your, voice to talk on radio, and I didn't want to be sick for the show tonight. But there were so many people there. Like, what a blessing that is.
It is a total blessing. And they had asked us before, usually we do one big meetup a year, and they said, well, what about for people that maybe want to get together with friends more? And you'd be surprised, there's a lot of people down here, whether they're vacationing or they live here, that have a hard time finding Disney friends.
Really?
Yes, and I know it's very strange.
It seems like it'd be so easy.
You would think, but like sometimes, like okay, so there was this nice couple that came. This is a good story, sidebar. So they had found like our meetup tab had come up as a suggestion on Facebook.
Yeah.
Now of course I don't know everybody who follows us because there's lots, but
you should.
I should. I try really hard. Repeat people that come, of course I know they're there, but I love seeing new people come. So they had come up to me and they said, well, we saw the recommendation on Facebook. We follow Disney pages and we don't really have any Disney friends. They live in Florida. And they're like, we thought we would come and try to meet some new people and, have people that hang with and whatever. And before they left, they're like, I'm so glad that we did this because like you guys are our people. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. You know,
It is.
finding your people. And even when it comes to Disney, which you think is somewhat universal, but I had no idea because I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, doesn't everybody?
I don't understand. Doesn't everyone love it as much as I do? But that's kind of like how we found each other, because I met Michelle and her husband Scott a little over a year ago now when we were at the media preview for the International Festival of the Arts. And because I've only lived here a year and a half maybe, I just haven't, met a ton of people. And so I was sitting at a table with them and we were instantly like friends. And then we just kept in touch. But I think that is a testament to your personality and your husband's personality and how genuinely kind you both are and real. Like, they're the real deal. Like, I know there are so many people who watch this show and follow you guys, but like, you're the real deal. You're not like, hey, I'm this way, and then over there I'm that way, and over there I'm that way.
Well, the best part was later that night we all went out with the families to the Amway Center together.
So it was fate. Like that same night when we went to, we had our media event. We had another media event for something else. Marvel Universe Live. And then we ran into them at the Amway Center. It was. And here we are, over a year later, and she's still stuck with me. So.
She's still stuck with me.
So that's a good thing, right? But speaking of media events, last week when I was at Epcot, I did the food and merchandise preview last Wednesday of the Flower and Garden Festival, and I had literally left the Flower and Garden Fest media preview, hauled myself to the front of Epcot where Scott was waiting for me, and drove me to Cindy's house. So those of you who saw Cindy's show we got a little bit of what they have to offer this year, but I thought we could talk a little bit more about it, and we could talk about like what we're looking forward to.
I want you to tell everyone all about it, because there's one part that I am stuck on that I'm so excited about that because of you I have told everyone, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you.
I think I know what it is.
I've never been as excited about a piece of merchandise as I am.
I do know.
Scott's like trying to figure it out, but don't worry.
He looks perplexed. My husbands are behind the camera.
I know what it is.
Mine looks very. I know what it is. So usually we get to do a media previews like on the same week.
Yeah.
This was a week apart because the festival doesn't actually open until for this week, March 6th.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, it runs through June 3rd.
Yes, June 3rd
this year. So.
And it isn't the 25th anniversary, I believe, this year. I think it's the 25th anniversary.
I don't know. I have a book right here. Let's see what it says.
And I feel like I could have said that, and I'm now wrong.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't say that.
Let me look and see. I'll see.
Okay. So, as usual. No. I don't remember this.
Can you Google that?
Yeah, no, because I'm on Google. So the preview had little samplings of the food, and of course the merchandise. And I know all of you I was getting messages. I was putting out the food first, and I know my viewers, and they're like, "Where's the merchandise?
We want the merchandise.
We want merchandise." But they did it different this time. Like they made you look at the food first, and then they showed a little bit of the entertainment. And the merchandise was like way in the back of the room, and they're not going to make you wait for it. Oh, but the cool thing is right next to the merchandise booth was Mickey. So Mickey's standing there in his little farmer gear, So you could go see merchandise, you could go see Mickey, and they had different people to talk about, talk to different things that are happening at the festival. But the food, of course, is great. This is new this year. We talked about this on Cindy's show. The Orangeburg little sippy cup, and really, really cute. They are going to be serving this at one of the booths. I'm going to guess it was the Florida Fresh one that they had.
And it's an orange cream slushie?
Right? It is an orange cream slushie, which was very good.
Come on, Ice Cream Man. Remember when you would get the orange creamsicle from the Ice Cream Man? He would drive by your house. You're like, Ice Cream Man! And you would lose your mind. That, they're going to just swish it up and put it in there.
And put it in a cute cup.
Right?
What could be better?
Perfect.
Like childhood ice cream in an Orangeburg cup.
I love it.
And I couldn't figure out how to work this little guy, but his head, top of his head comes off. Woo, there you go. I was messing with it okay, so, sidebar again. So they had these fun cups and things at the media thing, and I wanted to take him home. Of course,
my mind is blown.
I had to take him in the bathroom at Epcot to rinse him out, and I'm in the bathroom trying to figure out how to get the top of his head off. But because I didn't want to, I know I was coming to your house. I couldn't have like sticky stuff in my purse.
I'm so glad you brought it because he's super.
He is really cute. And then since this is a cup that they gave me, but I love this cup. I'm going to show you this. Maybe hopefully
It's
you can see it.
super cute.
Now the whole point of this. Oh, he's going to grab it. Okay, here you go. So they can see the glitter and the pattern on it.
It's super sparkly and fun.
You see it? I'm going to tell you what that's all about in just a second.
Yeah,
See,
it's
baby.
like, is there a lemonade?
It is. It is. Okay, so here's what this is all about. And if you guys watched my coverage or on our YouTube channel or on the live feed, because you know I went live as well, in addition to regular merchandise, they have merchandise that is geared toward the violet lemonade that everybody seems to love. And it's so funny because that lemonade is kind of taken on a little life of its own.
I know.
And people love it.
Because I've heard they have something else too, right? With the violet lemonade.
They have a spirit jersey themed with the violet lemonade. It's purple mouse ears that has like little flowers on the top. And then the flowers on the top are the nod to how they actually put a flower in your little glass of frozen
Because
lemonade.
is it an edible flower?
You
Is that
can
what
eat
you're
it.
saying, right?
I know a lot of people throw it out, but they say you can eat it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
It is. I don't know if I eat
I
it.
say that. I don't think I
I think I threw it out. But I think you can eat it.
I think I just put it to the side like, I'm gonna eat it, I'm so cool. No, I'm not.
No, I really don't want it. But they have a spirit jersey, and it says put a little zest in your fest, and these are gonna sell. They have the bigger cups, they have the ears, they have
The ears are
violet
cute.
lemonade socks.
What?
Yes. So this is all a whole separate line they have this year, and
That's
then they have the regular gear that has a spirit jersey, and of course they have a couple of yard things. They have annual pass holder things. But tell them what your favorite thing was.
Okay, so I am a fanny pack girl, and if you go to any of the parks, Walt Disney World or Disneyland California, but any of the parks, having a fanny pack to me is essential because hands free, right? And so I have been trying to get the fanny pack back forever, so much so that I always sing, I'm bringing fanny pack. Yeah, that's just like my little made up song. Yes, I just sang for you. That's my gift.
That's your second time singing, I believe.
Nice, and now
Right?
we moved over to Justin Timberlake parody.
Hold on, I'm gonna get the disco lights going in here. We're gonna turn this place out.
I love a fanny pack, and so at the festival this year, they have this pink fanny pack, and attached to the fanny pack, so the fanny pack's like a good size,
Mhm.
but attached to the fanny pack is this big, ginormous, pink and silver sparkly flower that's like the size of our heads.
It is.
Like it's a big flower, and it is like prominently displayed. I'm like trying to, you can't see anything below my waist. I'm trying to show you, like, as if you could see my fanny.
But if you
Not a
could see
fanny,
it,
my waist.
yeah, it
But it's
would take
big.
up. It,
You have a lot of
Put a lot
people.
of stuff in there. Let's
Yes.
do that. You can fit a lot of stuff.
You have a lot of people agreeing with you on fanny
About
pack to
fanny
Disney.
packs.
I have taken crossbody bags. Like I have this really super cute, it's a Small World, Le Sport sack, like crossbody
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
take to the parks. But I will, here's a little tip for you, I will tighten the crossbody and I will make it a fanny pack.
Oh, get out.
So they have this pink flower sparkly goodness that I'm going to be buying starting Wednesday, sometime between Wednesday and June 3rd. I'm going.
You know, and that's the thing. And I'll tell you something, because I'm not usually a fanny pack person. However, that flower made me second guess that whole thing, because I am a big fan of glitter and flowers and things sparkly.
Yes, because that makes life better.
It does, and
Right?
it makes me happy. And I saw that flower, and I saw it from across the room. I'm like, what is that? I thought it was like an over-the-shoulder thing, and then when they said it was a fanny pack, I'm like, okay, this might be the thing that changes my mind about fanny packs.
She told me about it on my show on Wednesday, and literally like 2 seconds later, I was stealing her photograph with permission, so I guess it's not stealing. Putting it on my Instagram account going, this gives me life. I will buy this immediately because I cannot wait for this fanny pack.
And
It's
she's
so
not
cute.
stealing, because I told her my
Yes.
stuff is your stuff, take what you
Yeah.
want. So
She's real.
I'm like, Take it. Have fun.
I have to get this fanny bag.
So yeah, the only thing is that of course so they usually don't, but they don't tell you how much things are going to cost.
Yes, you're right.
Because I was really curious, like how much are they going to charge for that fanny pack, being that it's a flower with glitter. And I believe the zipper is an actual like glittery leaf on it. No, don't quote me, but there's a glittery leaf hanging off the side.
I don't care if it's $1 million. I'm going to buy
She's
the
buying it.
glittery flower fanny pack.
Well, you know, Wednesday I'm going to go over there first thing. I have my radio thing in the morning on first thing. Then we're going to go right over there because as soon as, like, Mouse Gear, somebody had asked me about festival merchandise. Yeah. Now, World Showcase does not open until 11 officially, but they have the festival booths up, and then usually in Mouse Gear they have a display of merchandise for festivals.
So,
and then there's the festival center as you walk to World Showcase.
Yep,
the
right.
Festival.
So I hear you saying, because I will be at work on Wednesday, that I'm going to have to leave you some cash here tonight. You can go get me
that fanny pack before, because see, here's the thing. Us talking about how much we like it, maybe other people like it too. And
no, it's the ugliest fanny pack ever.
We're
not going to want it.
It's awful. No, you don't want
it. They're like, whatever, we're on to you. We're going to buy the fanny pack.
There's going to be a line when we get there to get
it.
There is.
The two of you are going to be fighting over the last one.
Okay, so another important thing that I had to ask, was about the Dooney and Burke bags.
Yes.
Because normally, it's, you know, whenever we get to see the merchandise like right before it opens, since it was a week, they did not have the Disney Doonies on the table. So I, you know, because I know that you guys want to know all about the merchandise, I asked. And she said that they are going to be butterfly prints. And they're going to be character butterfly prints. And that's as far as I got. There's going to be 3 regular bags and an annual pass holder bag.
Do you think it's because they just released the It's a Small World Dooney and that maybe they wanted to focus on that?
Maybe. The thing is do you remember, like, before, like, in the past couple of years, it would be a larger stretch between Dooney patterns.
Yes.
Like, you would get a Dooney, and then there'd be a couple months before you'd see another.
Right.
And lately, I mean, we just had the Mary Poppins Doonies,
Which
super
I
cute.
love.
They had the ones that didn't do as well for, what was the name of that movie, The Nutcracker?
Oh, the 4 realms.
Yeah, so they had the Dooney, yes.
Somebody wants to know about how big the fanny pack is.
How big the
larger
fanny pack
one or a
was?
smaller one?
Yeah, probably like that.
But I wasn't there, I just saw the picture.
It's like a big white flower.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess like this.
I told you should create your own fanny pack line.
Fanny pack line? We could do that together. We could do that together. And it would have all kinds of glitter and
It would.
sparkles.
It'd be glitter and sparkle. It's like a Vanilla Ice one.
Yeah. Like a head with like his hairdo that goes up to the side. With glitter.
With glitter.
That'd be fantastic.
But do you think that, so back to the Dooney, do you think that is also because I feel like in the last maybe 6 months that they have stepped up with the mini ears. So I feel like there used to be a longer stretch between the Spirit jerseys and the mini ears, and now I think they've caught on that we're super in to the Spirit jerseys and to the mini ears, that maybe they're like, we can keep churning these out faster because we're going to buy them, and they're right. So I say good call by Disney.
It is, and you know what's funny though is that because we watch merchandise all the time, and Lindsay that works for me, she has, she's my merchandise. She's got her eye on it all the time. Well, the thing is that they have so much good stuff coming out now. Like, you don't know if something is going to sell out, if they're going to restock it.
Right.
Because, like, for example, they had the Haunted Mansion Doonies that had come out at the end of the summer, early fall. And those things sold really quick.
Yeah, my husband is watching, so I just want you to know I do not own one Dooney at all. So my birthday is not anywhere near soon. It's until October, but
Mother's Day.
Just say, but Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day!
Mother's Day!
Oh, yes!
Mother's Day is around the corner.
And then by then there could be even more Doonies that hit.
Yeah.
But like the Haunted Mansion ones, the bad part is, I got one. I got lucky, and I thought they were going to restock. And I kept telling people, "Oh, I'm sure they will."
Yeah.
They didn't. Now, I don't know if they plan to bring that pattern back, maybe in the fall. It was such a popular print, but we were talking about it. Someone was talking about it at the meetup, and they're going on eBay for like over $800 for a purse. Now, you spend $2 something if you have an Impact discount, but $800, $800. I don't have that kind of money. I mean, it pains me to spend a lot of money for a purse as it is. And I'm going to say this right now. Okay. Unless it's a Rapunzel one that I need to get my hands on, I might sell some things, you know, sell blood, whatever, if I had to get one.
What about Jack?
I would not sell my dog. Sorry, he's growling over there. Like, everyone can say hi, Jack. There he is. Would you spend
And here he comes.
$100 on a purse?
No, because my max is like Target. I mean Target, if I'm being fancy. Because I just don't spend money on handbags. Maybe a long time ago I did, but I have 2 kids and my mom lives with us, so like I'm not trying to spend money on purses. That's why I don't even own a Dooney. Like I would love to get a Dooney. And the Haunted Mansion would be great because that is my favorite attraction at the parks. But yeah, like no. 800, no to that. 200, no to that. But
No,
I mean, I get the attraction though. Like, yes, hello, handsome.
Jack and
So 800 for the Haunted Mansion one. Where's yours at? We could do an auction right here live with these people.
I told you, look at everybody. Hi, Jack. Hi, Jack.
If we can hit 4 figures, I'll send them that Dooney.
The sweetest face.
Look at him. He's like, please, no, you're staying down here. So I'm very curious. Back to the flower garden. I'm very curious to see what they're going to look like, and you know that I'm going to try to be there like as soon as possible in the morning to get a picture of those purses.
Well, it has to be flowers and butterflies. You said butterflies, so I'm going to imagine it has some floral woven into it with the butterflies. That just makes sense.
I would think, because last year they had it was mini watering flowers,
Which was so
it
cute.
was really, really
I saw
cute.
the mini watering can in your house.
That was last year.
Yeah.
I can't help myself, you know. It's like I see like especially the garden stuff, and I think because last year we were moving into this house, and I wanted to have new things for the yard.
Yeah.
But I will tell you though, I did not see as much yard decoration.
Really?
They had a stone, like a mini, like a walking stone that you don't really walk on. You stick something behind it so you can see it when you walk up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess those will probably be about 30 because they usually are. But I didn't see a lot unless there's gonna be more. I'm wondering if that wasn't all the merchandise because they didn't have the purses. What else didn't they have?
Maybe they wanted to get the preview out there, and then maybe they're like, we have a little something up our sleeves. I got the ears last year, the floral ears, and I loved the floral ears last year. I specifically bought them because I love that print, like the floral, flowery, whatever. So, yeah. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Speaking of, there are new flower ears that just hit the stores on, what was today? Today's Monday.
Cute.
Yesterday at World of Disney, they are all floral ears. Instead of having like the glitter and such, it's all flowers.
All flowers.
They had them at World of Disney yesterday. But, like we were talking about with purses, ears are just as hard to get.
They are.
It's almost, speaking of, grab those. Okay. So these are coveted Aladdin ears that just came out on Saturday.
That my friend Michelle just gifted to me.
Aren't they? They're so
They're
pretty.
so great. Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie of all time.
So she had to have that.
Yeah, I saw her post these on her Instagram. Whenever, like
It was
a week or
Saturday
so.
night.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
Little did you know you were getting a pair.
They were sold out before we left the studio Saturday.
No, I
Sold out.
And no, I will not sell them on eBay because
For $800.
I don't
like
know who's doing that.
$800, I would.
We're selling. But
Michelle has a pair that are going for $800 on eBay.
I saw those at the registers. My friend Janelle, who works with me as well, who is also my friend, she texted me because she got to the park before me. She goes, "Oh my gosh! Only at the register they have a few pairs of the Aladdin ears." So of course, when I go in, I'm texting her and I'm like, "Where are they?" Because I went to the wrong store. I couldn't find them, and she's like, "No, you got to go to the register." So as soon as I walked in, I grabbed those. I bought them. I went and I took a picture of them and I put them on Instagram. Almost immediately, people were like, what store are those in? Do they have a lot of them? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I just got what I got and whatever. So by the time, that was about 4 o'clock. By the time we left the park, sold out.
That's crazy. Well, you always see them, like if you're following anyone on Instagram, you see them at Disneyland always first.
Disneyland gets all the good stuff.
Always.
First.
I saw the flower ears there first because one of your team had spotted them there. And so as soon as I see that her team has spotted them in Disneyland, I'm like, oh, we're getting them. And then I'll like go right on the radio and I'll start talking about like, we're getting these. So I talked about these, I think, 2 times last week on my radio show because it's just my favorite movie.
Oh, yes?
Somebody asked a question. How many ears do each of you have in your personal collection?
Oh, okay, that's from Faith. Faith wants to know how many ears we have. I don't know, Faith. I'm sorry. I have a lot. He actually built me I was at an event in November, and he had lots of time, so he was going to surprise me because I have all these ears, and I don't know what to do with them.
I'm the same way.
And I still have a lot with tags on them because I buy them because I'm afraid they're going to sell out, and I just have to have them just because. So my lovely husband built me a wonderful rack above the door in my closet. They don't all fit on that rack.
I didn't build it big enough.
He didn't build it big enough. I'm going to say I probably have somewhere 20, 15, maybe. He's going like this higher. I'm going to say, we'll stop.
I'd say about 30 to 35.
No, I do not. He's lying.
You want me to go get them?
No. I'm going to say 15. How about you?
I'm going to tell you that I have to tell you a quick sidebar, if that's okay.
You go ahead.
So my husband will tell you. I think I have only maybe 15. I don't even think if I have 15. But one of my favorite is we got to go to Disneyland Paris for our honeymoon, and I bought. It was almost like a ski winter hat, and it has the ears with a mini bow on it, and then like 2 tassels that hang out with like the little balls at the end. And I love it because when I wear it here at Walt Disney World, no one has them. So I kind of like want to wear it, but then I don't want to wear it because I don't want to lose them, but I love them. But I was just talking when at my radio show at Z88.3 here in Orlando, there is a woman, she called in when she heard me talking about the Aladdin-inspired ears, that she has over 400 ears. And I said, no way, her name is Lynn. If you Google Orlando Sentinel, what is that hard to say? Orlando Sentinel, they did an article on her, and I think you could probably just Google 400 ears Orlando Sentinel, and she sent me a picture, and she had them all laid out on her bed to show me, and they were featured in this article that they did on her. In fact, a couple of local papers here in Orlando have interviewed her because she has over 400, and I said, well, how far behind are you? Because they keep releasing some, and she said, well, I don't have the newer ones that are out. Like I haven't gotten the donut ones, which have been out for maybe
a few weeks, a month,
maybe a month.
I don't have them yet either.
Yeah, I don't either. But I tend to only get the ones that I'm super passionate about. Like I love Minnie, so any version of like Minnie, like the black and the white and the red traditional Mickey or Minnie. I got those. Anything with floral, that's why I got the ones from last year. And then something that has to do with like my favorite movie. Now I got those because of her.
So, but yeah, I mean, you're a little more restrained than I am. I have one of my friends sent me a pair from Disneyland Paris' anniversary last year, the gold and the black. I think I still have them in the bag that says Disneyland Paris on it because I don't know why. Do you do sidebar? Do you do that too? Exactly. Like I don't want to take the tags off of things because I don't know why. Just in case. Like I'm not going to eBay them.
No,
I'm not going to part with them. But does it make it more like special if you still have the bag and the tag?
I'll tell you a silly reason why, because like I will not take the tag off of these because chances are I'm not going to wear these in the park because I love them so much, and I will leave the tag on. And this is such a silly reason, but because I have 2 daughters, and I know that if my mom had a pair of ears from say like Disneyland, because that's where I grew up, actually in Disneyland. That would be cool though.
That'd be really
But because
cool.
I grew up in Los Angeles, like if she had something that was maybe like the first of the mini headband ears or something, and she had the tag on it, I would just love to see what it cost at that time. Or that like she never took the tag off, they were never worn. So I think for me, I want to keep the tag on them to make it more special for my kids. Because like when we took our daughters to Disney for the first time, we got the traditional full hat.
Oh, the hats, because that's
Yeah.
what used to be the
With the little
thing.
strap underneath,
Yes.
with their name embroidered on it. And so we got them each one, and I told them, I don't care whatever you do with anything else that we get you from Disney, you are to never give those ears away because I want you to have that for when you have kids. And you'd be like, well, this was my first trip when, Grandma and Grandpa took us. I don't know, maybe it's a silly nostalgia thing.
Sentimental thing.
Yeah.
Well, I can see sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
I think I'm just overly quirky about things. Because I do weird stuff like that. And but you know what's funny? I'm gonna call my mother out on live video.
Is she on? I haven't seen
Actually
her.
not yet, but she'll watch the replay.
She'll watch the replay.
So my mother, she will buy things, and just like she'll pull the tag off, but not the plastic thing that goes around it, and I think I know why, because I do the same thing. Because I'm a big baby, and when you go to pull the plastic, it hurts your fingers.
It does hurt.
And if you just don't want to go get scissors,
you just leave it
you
on.
just pull the
Yeah.
paper off and leave the plastic.
I've done
Maybe it's something to do with that too.
that.
But I do weird stuff like that all the time. But I do have ears that I have never worn that still have tags on them, and
You don't even realize which ones you have sometimes.
I don't. He's right. I don't know what I have sometimes. But I have that whole, they say the fear of missing out. Like, I must buy these because if I don't, they're going to sell out, and then I'm going to be mad. Okay, so I don't really care for Figment. They know this. Last year I bought Figment ears because I'm like, oh, these are going to sell. It was at Food and Wine. And I bought a pair for Suzanne, my friend Suzanne that works with me and is my good friend. Hi, Suzanne.
I follow her on Instagram.
And when she was here, I think she did the show in the fall. I think she brought the Figment ears that I bought her. And she's like, well, I can wear these Figment ears because you bought them. And I can tease you because remember, you bought them. But I did buy them because I'm like, oh my gosh, because there's opening day of the festival. This is how people are. They have 10 ears on each arm, and they're carrying all this stuff. And everybody had Figment ears like all over them.
And our friend who's a cast member told you they're going quick.
Yes, I saw one of my cast member friends. They're like, they're going quick. And Disney is really weird about the marketing because sometimes they'll have a ton of something. And then sometimes I think they drag it out on purpose.
I do too. They're
Just
smart, marketing people.
Like those rose gold ears. They came out that July in 2017. And then we did not see them in stores again until like Christmas time. But now you can find them all the time.
Everywhere.
They did that on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
And people were going nuts over those rose gold.
They're smart. They're smart there.
They're pretty.
They're
still one of my favorites. I will wear my rose gold ears. But I have
pretty.
I have one that I took the tags off, and I have another one that still has the tags on it. And I don't really know why.
Because you buy some for giveaways, but then you forget to give them away.
That's true. So I like to give presents. I know you're the same way.
I've done that a lot too because on my Wednesday show, I'm always like on my show this Wednesday. I need you to. I brought something for you to give away.
Oh, nice.
Because every week on my show, I give something away. So when I go to the parks, I will always buy something, and same thing. I'll leave the tag on because I love to give away, presents, and I do every single week on my show.
She does.
So I, like you, will leave the tag on for that very reason because I don't want to take it off. I want you to be able to take it off.
Right.
I mean, not that I want to be tacky and I want you to see how much I paid for your present, but I want you to be able to take off the tag.
And then, don't you think sometimes though, like if you take the tag off, it makes it look like you've used it already.
Right. I don't want you to think actually.
Like I wore it, and now I'm gonna give it to you.
But I wore them, and there you go.
But Disney is starting to not put the price on the tag.
Huh?
Disney is starting to not put the prices on the tag.
That's true. I've
Sometimes they
noticed
are,
that
or they
too.
do it the color coding, and then you have to search to find out, or if it says like yellow, you have to go find what yellow.
But I
it
think
is.
they're doing that so they can raise price based on demand. without having to change all the tags.
Conspiracy.
Look at the Spirit jerseys. They went from $59.99 to $64.95 like within days.
Boom.
And they didn't have to go and rechange them.
But it's true. The Spirit jerseys, now they have 2 Spirit jerseys for Flower Garden this year, and they are $65. Now when they first came out, they were $60.
Yeah.
Were they $59.95?
I thought they were $55 at one point, weren't they?
I want to say they were
$54.95 when they first launched them.
They were always expensive.
They keep going up, and if they don't put a price on that tag, they don't have to change any tags.
No.
They just raise the price.
That's smart.
It's actually smart from Disney's side to do that.
It's super smart.
But yeah, so there's 2 Spirit jerseys. Boy, we took a big old detour. So yeah, there's 2 Spirit jerseys coming out and some ears. But no, another thing about the ears is that sometimes when I put something out, because I know that we have a pretty decent sized audience and they are shoppers, he'll say to me, "You're gonna put that out before you get it for yourself, and you're not gonna really get it." And it's happened.
Yeah, you've told her.
But why do I tell you that? What happened one time when you did that?
Oh, at the outlet though?
Yes.
I made another sidebar. A couple of years ago at the outlet on Violin, they had these Booty You Halloween. It was Haunted Mansion, and it was when Minnie had the polka dot dress on. Super cute.
So cute.
They were $30 in the store. They were $5.99 at the outlet, and stupid me, I took a picture and said, "Look what they have at the outlet." And I bought one. And then I showed my mom, because she saw my post. And she's like, "Oh, but they can get one." And then Lucretia, who her husband Corey is on our staff as well, she goes, "Oh, I would love one too." So the next day I go back.
Oh, no.
They're gone. So I asked the cast member, they're like, "We got a mad rush of people coming in to buy these signs." And he's like, "I told you."
These people ran in here saying something about the Main Street house. I don't know. And you're like, "Oh, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of them."
Like they had a mad rush of people buying.
Disney does not need marketing. They can just use you.
Yeah, it's Disney. I will be your marketing girl for you.
I'm buying a fanny pack because of her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always putting out your merchandise saying, "Look how great this is." But no, seriously, Disney's been good to me as far as merchandise too. But ears, keep watching, because like I've told you guys before, Disney says this is the year of the ear, and they have all kinds of new stuff coming out, and some of them are going to sell really quick. You know which one I'm looking forward to?
Which one?
The ones that look like a lollipop. They look like a Disney lollipop on each side.
I have not seen those.
And they're hard. They're plastic, so that it's like a whole. Because they wanted to go with the whole sucker theme type of thing.
I kind of love that.
I do too.
It's very Wreck-It Ralph kind of.
It is very Wreck-It Ralph. But yeah, so keep your eyes open for that. Okay, so I wanted to say really quick too. This weekend, Dumbo's preview hit the studios, and it's at formerly One Man's Dream, which is now called Walt Disney Presents the building. And where they usually show the Walt movie is a Dumbo preview. So
I can't wait for this movie. Every time, do you cry? Every time I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not going to cry this time." And then I'm in the full-on Oprah ugly cry because I cannot wait to see this movie.
See, I'm afraid to see the movie.
Why? Because you're going to be a wreck?
Because I can't. Okay, so I don't care. You guys know I'm a mess. I'm just gonna tell you. So we go to the preview. He's rolling his eyes. If you could see my husband right now, he's going.
Because we were 3 seconds into the preview starting.
Okay, so
they showed Dumbo.
That's what I did.
Like I can't. And he's like, "But it wasn't even a sad part that they showed." I'm like, "No, but he's so cute." He's like, "But he's computer generated." I'm like, "No!" I'm like, "Don't ruin it for me."
Don't ruin it for me.
Because he reminds me of like my dog or every little animal. Because I'm
Yes.
a sucker for animals, and it's like the scene that they show in the preview of Hollywood Studios is good. It's not sad per se, but it could be. I don't want to give it away because Dumbo is in kind of a sad predicament for a minute, not about his mother, about something else.
Okay.
And it's not sad. But here I am going, and he's like, "You're gasping out loud. You're loud." And he's doing this to me. And
Like 4 times though in a minute.
He sort of embarrassed me a little bit because he was trying to cover my mouth. I didn't realize I was doing that.
"Oh, was that my out loud voice?"
Was that me? But it's Dumbo.
I watched the preview again last night. It came on television. My husband and I were watching a show, and we were on the couch, and he looks over, he's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "No. No, I'm not crying. I'm not crying." He's like, "You've seen this before." And I'm like, "Why are you surprised? Like, how long have we been married?"
It's just a thing. But I walked out, and I looked at a couple of the people that were there, and there was other ones that were.
See, it's not just us.
I just don't think I'm emotionally equipped to handle. Like last night, this is how bad I am. Last night I got an email from Disney Movies, a press release for the new Baby Mine that came out, and I put it out last night. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to get myself upset before bed. I'm not even
As
kidding.
soon as you start with your Baby Mine, you're like, I can't hear it.
I'm like, it's over. I'm like, please don't. And I don't care what version it is, because do you remember when Maleficent had come out? And they redid Once Upon a Dream, like on an updated version. People were poo-pooing it, like, I don't like the updated version. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to do the same with Baby Mine, but I didn't even listen to it because I knew I would ugly cry before bed, and you wake up with puppy eyes. And I just... But okay, so you too, huh?
Yeah.
Are you going to go see it?
Absolutely.
Are you going to bring Kleenex?
Absolutely. Maybe like a small box or a big box. And we'll go see it together. We'll go see it together. We'll just like put the tissue box in between us.
Yeah. We get ugly cry. Maybe we could get, because I know there's some other people that want to go. We could get a whole row of us.
A row? I think we could get a whole theater. We should do that.
And we're all going to bring, sponsored by Kleenex.
Yeah.
This is everybody.
Because it just feels good. It's like a cathartic experience to get a good cry out. And so then, whatever other issues, emotional baggage you may have. It's going to see Dumbo. You're like, it was Dumbo. I don't know.
And then afterwards we can all go for coffee and talk it all out.
Rehash it again, have another good cry. Well, I do this so much that my oldest daughter, who's 13, she says I am limited to 2 cries per week. Like,
what?
Per week? How about per day?
Yeah, I mean, no, you can't put a limit on that. And especially, but okay, let me ask you this. What is it about Dumbo that you think that gets us in the heart so much? I mean, the cartoon, yes, but to see a live, well, it's not really live, but a baby elephant closest that we can get to it, it just kills you. Like, why?
I think it's also, it's how we feel about puppies. Like anything that's like a baby version of something that's already like magical. Like elephants are sort of magical because it's not like we're hanging out with, elephants every single day. And they are so sweet. But to see a baby elephant, who you definitely don't get to hang out with every day, there's just something magical about that. And I think that's
hold up, picture froze.
A little special. I think that
our picture froze.
Can you guys still hear? We had this last time on Facebook.
We had this last time, and we had to. How did we get around it, Shaw? I can't remember.
It eventually just kicked back. Can someone tell me if you can still hear us?
I think they can hear us.
Ooh, what was that?
That's my thing started playing.
Okay, so they can still hear.
Here, I'm gonna try something. While you guys go ahead and keep talking.
All right, we're gonna keep talking because then it'll catch up with us. So anyway, so even with the fact that Dumbo is computer generated, he's still really sweet, and he's in the preview they had clown makeup on him, and he was entertaining at the circus, and it was rough. It was rough.
And it's gonna be rough. We only have a couple more weeks to get it together. Like, this is not gonna be good.
Are we gonna switch over like we did last time?
Just for a moment.
Just for a moment. Hi. Sorry. We had this happen last week too.
I wanted to restart the camera
Technical
feed.
issues are okay. It happens.
Okay, that's moving, so that's good.
Okay, let's see.
Let's
Sorry,
see
guys.
if it takes an. Yeah, your guys are moving. I see your eyebrows going up. So there you go. It's working again.
Are we better?
It should be.
So
It'll take it a second. Yeah, it'll take it a second to start.
Okay, there we go. All right.
It's something about the viewer that there I was switching.
I'm thinking that we just talk and talk, and then Facebook is kind of like, all right, you guys get a timeout.
But it's weird. I reset the modem. I reset our modem and everything today.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a Facebook issue or what.
We'll blame it on Facebook.
I think it might be the viewer that we use to connect the phone.
Maybe. I'm sorry, you guys.
We pay for that, so I'm not costing.
We're gonna work on that. Sorry. So, okay. Speaking of nostalgia, we're gonna go off the Disney track for just a moment, because Cindy and I have a lot of things in common.
We do.
And one of the things in common we have is like our love for things of still like when we were teenagers, we
Yes.
sort of
It's
still
like our
love them.
childhood,
Like Vanilla Ice.
right?
Like Vanilla Ice. Like
Yes.
like stuff that
Like New Kids on the Block.
okay, so New Kids on the Block. We're gonna talk about them in a second, but I wanted to this afternoon I got a text from Cindy and she was like, "Did you hear that Luke Perry passed away?" And like I had just seen it as well. And I before you knew it, I mean within a matter of minutes,
Yeah.
it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, everywhere. I mean, you saw, and a lot of it is he's on a current show, Riverdale. But we remember him from Beverly Hills 90210, of course. I mean, he was Dylan McKay on 90210. And I think I wanted to talk about it a little bit because it was just so sad.
It was a little soul crushing for me. Like I felt legit sad about it. Like not Robin Williams sad, because like when Robin Williams died and Princess Leia, like I actually cried.
Mhm.
Like I did. I was so sad when Robin Williams died. I'm like, the genie. And he did all these wonderful movies and obviously Princess Leia. But I think you're right. It was something about like, and I think for me too, part of it was I had just heard that they were talking about doing a reboot.
They are, yes.
And I had gotten some inside scoop because a friend of mine, her neighbor works for the CW and works with all of the cast of Riverdale. And they were going to let Luke Perry take time away, if he had decided that he was going to do it, to go be on the 90210 reboot. So he was going to be able to do 90210 and Riverdale. So I think once I heard that, I was even sadder because it seemed like almost all of the cast members, I believe, were on board for doing the 90210 reboot. So to have that happen, he's 52 years old. He has 2 kids. I think they're like 18 or 19 and 20. And he is engaged. He was getting ready to get married again. So you just never know. And it's funny because when you're little, you know, at 10, 52 seems really old. But when you're not 10 and you're older, 52 is so young. It's so young. It's such a good reminder that time in life is just so precious.
It is, and it's like, you know, it's so funny how you can feel so heartbroken over somebody that you never met, but you feel like you know them.
Right, because he was a part of our childhood.
It was, and like Suzanne and I were talking about how back in the day when we were teenagers, let's date ourselves. You remember the old teen magazines like Tiger Beat and all that stuff where you would get your posters out of there. They would a 3-fold thing, and you go stick them on your wall, and your parents would get mad for you to tape on the paint.
Yes.
Sorry, Mom. Because I used to get all my posters out of these magazines. Like I would purposely go to the grocery store with her because, like, not because I wanted to go to the grocery store, but because I wanted to get one of those teen magazines.
Oh, absolutely.
And see if I had the current one and flip through to see who was in it.
Will that work to you to go now?
What?
You won't go to the grocery store now. Will that work to you?
But back then, I used to go and I would buy my magazine and I would save my babysitting money and I would like buy like a package of cookies for myself and my favorite teen magazines and I would lock myself in my room afterwards. And it was always New Kids on the Block in there.
Yeah.
And of course 90210 stuff was in there. And I think it's just because like as we get older, those type of things mean more.
Yes.
Because you miss that time.
Yes. Well, I was trying to explain this to my 13-year-old daughter today because I said, okay, well, like when we were your age, there was Brandon and there was Dylan. And you were either like Team Brandon or Team Dylan. And now Team Dylan is gone. And so I was trying to, she's like, why are you sad? I'm like, this sounds so silly, honey, but this actor passed away and I don't know him. I, never met him. But he passed away. It was just like explaining to her that it was a part of my childhood, a part of all of our childhoods. It is sad.
It is, and time goes by so fast. I was talking to one of my girlfriends last week. We went to New Kids on the Block concerts together when we were kids. My dad actually took us to the first one because we had to do a lot of begging, but he took us. And the fact that they just came out with a new video last week
was so good.
Who I tagged her on, I'm like,
she tagged me on.
You gotta see this. But it's just one of those things that doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't feel like it. So I think that's why when I heard that Luke Perry had passed away, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem
No.
that long ago.
It's kind of like there's a meme going around right now that says 30 years ago would be 1970. But it's not.
It's not. It's
like in a lot of people's brains, if you're in our age range, 30 years ago to us is like 1970.
Well, yeah.
That's-
Right, it's like
not-
before I was born.
Yeah.
Not really. But no, I think I just to get on a happier subject.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people in our age bracket, it just really hurt. But it kind of puts things into perspective as well.
Yeah.
And some things are just timeless. And speaking
Yeah.
of timeless, our love of New Kids on the Block. I talk about this because I have no shame whatsoever.
I love New Kids on the Block.
Look at her, she's all excited. She's like, I love them.
Which do you love more, the ears or New Kids?
Somebody, I have to sidebar. They said that Peter Tork and the Monkeys died last
Don't even get me started on that too. Because that was before my time, but I watched them in reruns, and Peter was one of my favorites. Sidebar. I interviewed, actually, I have met Mickey Dolenz and Davy Jones. And Davy Jones, I had him on one of my old radio shows, and after we interviewed him, he sent me flowers, like a dozen roses, and I cried, like legitimately cried, because I was so excited. And then I met Mickey Dolenz and his daughter Amy, and was such a dork. So I have an album signed by Mickey Dolenz and Davy Jones, and now I'm not going to be able to get the other two because we lost Peter Tork last week.
Wait a minute, I'm still gasping that you met Davy Jones. All right, so and not Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
How'd you do it?
That'd be weird.
No, okay, so do you remember when but not New Kids on the Block, this was before that. Do you remember when MTV used to actually play videos?
Yes.
And do you remember when they did a big thing on MTV when we were kids, that they played all the Monkeys reruns?
Yes.
I used to be glued to the TV because I didn't care if Davy Jones was actually in his 40s or whatever back then.
Right.
And my little kid he's so cute. He's like, what, 19? That's not that much older than me. You know, I loved Davy Jones. I mean, love Davy Jones.
And then he was on the Brady Bunch for an episode, remember? Like, it's the same thing, like Brady Bunch was before our time, but we watched it in reruns.
Roz, the reruns felt like it was happening now.
Yes.
Do you remember that convention, though, I told you I read about a couple weeks ago where Mickey Dolenz and Mike Nesmith were going to it, and we both asked why is Peter Tork not on the menu, not on the schedule. Not on the schedule. That was wrong. Not on the schedule, but then all of a sudden he passed away like the week after that. It was just kind of weird that they scheduled those two.
Well, he was sick and they didn't have it.
Peter was not booked to do that con. It was in Tennessee, I think, is where, because we thought about going to it. Cause
I would have totally gone to that.
When Davy Jones passed away, I was still in Michigan, and he died on like Leap Day, like it was the 29th. I wrote an article about it because he used to do the Flower and Garden Festival. He was like a fan favorite at Flower and Garden every year. So that year, Mickey Dolenz took his place for Flower and Garden. But when I found out Davy Jones passed away, I literally ugly cried and I called my dad.
Oh.
Because my dad's a musician and my dad used to watch all these shows and stuff with me. I ugly blubbered cried to my dad. Davy Jones passed away. And
I was
like, oh.
I was so sad. I was living in Atlanta at the time when he passed away, and the Monkeys were coming through, and I just didn't have like a Monkeys friend to go with me to the concert. And I know you were back then. So I didn't go to the concert, and then literally like 4 or 5 months later was when Davy Jones passed away.
And it was
so
sudden.
sad.
He had a heart attack and just done. And I will tell you, this year I didn't do it. Usually I repost that article every year.
You really should.
Because it's a good article. I don't like to toot my own horn with my writing,
You
but
should.
it's a good article. If you go on our site and search Davy Jones, you're going to find it. And you may cry. Because I was like, ugh, like blubbery cry when I wrote it. Because there's, again, childhood, nostalgia, things that you get, which takes us back to New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
Oh my gosh! So they're coming on. If you have not seen, which I talked about it, but they have their '80s mixtape tour coming this summer.
I cannot wait.
And we're going.
Can I tell you my fun Donnie Wahlberg story?
Tell it.
Okay, so when I was living in Atlanta, New Kids on the Block came through, and all of them were there, and I had to interview them for work. But inside, I was dying, like literally dying, because I was so nervous and I was freaking out. Well, many years ago, actually the reason I got into radio is because I wanted to meet New Kids on the Block. So I got an internship at a local radio station, the one where Ryan Seacrest works now, because I wanted to meet New Kids on the Block. That's it, kids. So stay in school and get an internship somewhere because you want to meet New Kids on the Block or whoever.
That's a great reason.
Yeah. So before I worked at the radio station, I totally fangirled out and went to, they were somewhere, I don't remember where, and he came out of, I don't know if it was a restaurant, a hotel, whatever, and Johnny Wahlberg came out, and there I was, acne all over my face, like ugly hair, couple cheeseburgers, too many, and I took a picture with Johnny Wahlberg. So fast forward to a couple of years ago, when they are coming to my old radio station in Atlanta where I worked, and we're going to interview them. So our producer at the time digs up that picture. And so I'm in the middle of interviewing Donnie Wahlberg and all of them. And so my producer is like, hey, Donnie, we want to share with you, Cindy here a long time ago tells the whole story. And then he's like, wait, I want to see. So he brings the picture over to Donnie Wahlberg, and it's me and Donnie. Donnie's got like the big hair.
He had great hair back then.
He did have great hair. The big hair and then like the rat tail or whatever it was.
Oh, those were so bad.
And like the hanging top days was so bad. So he's like, we need a redo. And then I go up on stage and we did like this whole photo shoot redo. And he was like even borderline flirty. I was married at the time. He was totally single. And so he's holding up my hand going, she's married. Oh, like when we were taking the pictures. And I'm like, I love you, honey. I love you, honey. I knew my husband was watching. And I didn't want to be inappropriate. And I love my husband so much. And I wanted to be respectful, but I was dying inside that he was like having this moment. And it was one of the greatest moments of my, I need to post a picture back on Instagram again because it's hysterical.
It's a good picture.
It's like one of those bad before and after like photos where it's like, that's not what you want to look like, maybe. And I had gone that day and I got my hair did and my makeup did because I thought if there's an iota of a chance I get to take another picture with Johnny Wahlberg,
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Like I'm gonna have to try and look as cute as I can. So it was a great moment. So, well, who's your favorite though?
Oh, Joe McIntyre.
Yeah,
See, now back then they called him Joe, and now it's Joey, which
Joe.
is weird because you figure it's reversed, like Joey should be
Yeah.
a younger name. But anyway, I digress. So like, he was my favorite back then, and I honestly, he still is. So I told the story before, and I think I told you, but when I met him, it was like check bucket list.
Yes.
Like my teenage heart was ready to explode because it's like. When I was a teenager, my friend Nikki and I, we were like, John was her favorite, Joe was my favorite, and like those teen magazines everywhere, like Joe all over my walls.
Because
And
you can't like the same one.
No, like who's your new kid? And they still do that at the concerts. Like these girls, like no joke, and they are serious, and they're older.
The fan club.
Serious.
Like they're like, we walked up and they're like, who's your new kid? And I'm like.
Like back up off.
I know.
If it's Joey, I'm gonna jack you up.
They were like separating them, and thank God I had media, so I didn't have to go. It was like the Hunger Games over there or whatever. Like they're gonna kill you. So I got to leave and go to the media section. Praise Jesus, because I didn't want to go to the snake pit over there. It was like, who's your new kid? Because I don't want anyone like. I'm like, Joe McIntyre is my new kid. Well, we already have a Joe in this group. We're gonna have to go to the other one. I'm like, I don't even know what this is about.
No,
but
you
it's
can't
a
like
thing.
the same new kid. You
It's a
cannot. No, it's a faux pas.
You can't.
No.
So when I went over the media line, I had asked somebody else like, what is wrong with these women and why are they doing this? So there's a reason. So the fan club, like you get groups of 10 go in with the fan club that pay this ridiculous amount, like hundreds of dollars for this package. You got like 2 minutes to go in there, run by the new kid that you want to, smile, and you're out of there. There's no autographs or anything. So what they do is they don't want too many Joes in this group because there's only one Joe, and like if 8 of you want to go stand by him, you can't. So what they do is they try to break it down like 2, like if Donnie's your favorite or Joe's your favorite, that way you get to go stand by your new kid. So, I'm not even making this
That
up.
is so
I am
great.
not making this up. This is crazy, but it's true. So that's why I want to know who your new kid is, so that you're not stepping on anyone else's toes. Like if Donnie's your new kid, we got 3 Donnies in here. Sorry, lady, you got to go to a different group. It's insane.
This is why we're friends, because we don't like the same new kid.
Yes.
Because we would have major issues if I like Joe or she liked Donnie.
But fortunately for you, in your picture, there was 5 new kids and only 4 people there total.
Yes, and
Besides
I
them.
don't want to say anything bad about the fan club because I love them. I joined the fan club so I could get tickets and such.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I didn't know there was protocol, is what I'm saying. I was the new kid on the block.
You got new
wink,
kids
wink.
schooled.
I didn't. I got schooled big time. I had no idea. None. I do now. And now, and I would know that you don't make that mistake again if you ever do that. But they pay a lot of money for these packages to go get a picture.
They're not cheap.
They're not.
But who's your second new kid?
My second new kid, Jordan.
So who did you get to stand in between?
Jordan and Joe. And I stand there like it's the cheesy grin, and then I'm gonna embarrass myself because like when I got home, like they sent you the picture, you couldn't take your own picture, there was no selfies or whatever, and I'm like, what if they don't have my email address right? I'm not gonna get my picture. So when I did get it, I had it as my cover photo on Facebook. Then because I was standing between Joe and Jordan, I cropped everybody else out.
As you should.
For a couple pictures.
There's no shame in your new kid gang. We all did the same thing.
But
Every
Donnie was too over, and it's like, I like him too, but I like them all, so it was...
But what's funny though is you worried about not getting a picture. We were in there with another lady who her husband's on the radio locally, and her sister. We're the 4 of us in the picture with the new kids. They didn't get the picture. So her husband actually emailed me directly. He's like, yeah, he's like, do you have this picture? Because my wife didn't get it and she's dying to have it. And I'm like, well, I can sell it to you.
But do you know how nerve-wracking that was? Like you said, with if you're going to get a picture, you instantly turn into a teenager.
Correct.
And it is like all important. Like if I'm gonna get that picture, I need that picture.
Yes.
Because pictures didn't happen, as they say, right?
It's so true. If you don't have photographic evidence, oh sure you met the new kids.
Yeah, sure you did. Yeah, where's your picture? Because and you know what people think they're real funny. Because that night I was so excited, I called my dad. I went on Facebook like, I just met her because I love like pictures. Where's the picture?
Where's the picture? We need photographic evidence.
Yeah, like they didn't believe me, and I'm like, it's coming. They're like, sure it is. So as soon as I got the picture, I put that picture.
It's like profile picture, cover
photo, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, walking up to strangers, look at my picture.
Well, tell her your Donnie story though. What happened after how you got to meet him? Because you didn't met all of them but him.
Oh yeah, because he walked up last when they were doing looks like the police lineup. They switched all up as well, and Scott and I were on this side, and then the 2 girls from the radio station were on this side, and I was walking away, and he was like, "Oh hey, I didn't get to say hi to you," and I'm like, "Well, no, you didn't." Me?
Oh, well, yes, Donnie Wahlberg.
I know.
Hi, Michelle.
Exactly. I'm like, "Hi, it's so nice to meet you," and he's like, "So nice to meet you," and he went like this in for the hug, walked away and cried my face off. I didn't cry in front of them. I walked away and ugly cry.
Because it's almost like, tell me if this is true. It's almost like you can't believe it happened because you're an adult and you like wish it happened when you were like whatever 15, 16, whatever, and now it's happening and you're like almost overwhelmed with joy, and it's so silly. It's so silly, but you know, life can be crazy sometimes and up and down and roller coasters, and I just think it's important to focus on those silly moments and just suck up all the joy that you can. So you were probably so overwhelmed with joy because that's such a fun story to have. And now you have that story for the rest of your life.
And I will tell it until
As you should.
Because, you know, like you said, but the whole point, I think the whole point of this topic of the show was that, you know, nostalgia and things that when you're a kid, they stay with you. And I think, let's tie this back in with Disney, how they say Disney is timeless. How you can love Disney as much as an adult as you did when you're a kid, but I think sometimes even more because you appreciate it more.
Yes.
And then when you have children of your own, it's a whole different thing too.
I will say that is totally true because for me, growing up by Disneyland, California, my parents would take us to Disneyland all of the time. And we didn't stay at a fancy hotel. Sometimes we would be across the street at whatever local hotel, and then we would walk across and go to the park for a couple of hours. But we didn't go on big, grandiose vacations growing up. We would do like a little weekend trip here to Disneyland. And we did stay at the Disneyland Hotel a couple of times, but that was like what our vacations were. They were like a little mini trip to there. And like my dad, every time we were on Pirates of the Caribbean, he would always be like, yo ho, Pirates Life for me. And he would always sing that, and my dad, God rest his soul, is not with us anymore. So every time I'm on Pirates, I'm always like, this is the greatest ride ever. Even though Haunted Mansion is my favorite attraction, but Pirates is a close second because of that memory and going with my parents and that special moment where my dad loved to sing that song. And now that I have daughters, it's so great that my husband and I get to kind of have that experience with our kids. So sometimes for me, it's like, yes, the ears are great and a Dooney and Burke would be great, but for me, it's about the memory attached to the experience because in our family, like I said, we do joke about many years and all of that, and that's so much fun to have, but we try to teach our girls it's not about stuff, it's about creating memories, and that's what you get to do when you go on a Walt Disney World vacation and you have that experience because you're having an experience and you're having a memory. Oh, remember that time when it was 97 degrees and we were all sweating and the Mickey bar like was dripping on my face and it got all over our clothes. That was so great. You know, it's that funny, silly memory that you have because sure, they might remember the ears that we don't take the tags off and we're going to keep for them. But, you know, they'll remember that moment of the Mickey ice cream bar all over them and sweating and it being hot. Like we've gone before when it's poured rain and we had our ponchos and we're like sweating underneath the ponchos because you're like sweating.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. And then your hair is all frizzing and whatever, but you're like, we're in the rain, there's nobody here because they all left.
They do. The parking leaves out.
But it's that nostalgia and creating the memories and that magic, which is what I think why we love Disney so much.
I think so. You see how we tie it? You can tie
Right?
everything
You
back.
really
to Disney.
can.
You really can. That's why I always say everything somehow goes all the way back to
Oh,
Disney somehow.
It does. Watch this, how I'm going to do
Okay,
this.
I'm waiting.
For my grad night, Disneyland, California, New Kids on the Block. They performed, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Oh my
They
gosh!
performed at my grad night at Disneyland, California.
And you are just
I know,
now
I know,
telling me this?
Live on air.
Live on air.
What?
So,
That's
New Kids, Disney, nostalgia.
And because they were on another, God, I can't remember what it was now, the Disney special. They were on for something else.
They were on the Super Bowl that Disney sponsored. They were the halftime show the one year.
They had the one year that Disney sponsored the Super Bowl where they had that. Was it the same year they did the Epcot theme? Or was it?
I think it was with Tapestry of Nations type theme and New Kids performed. It was the one that was in Tampa that year.
Full
See,
circle,
it all goes back. So before I know we ran over.
But
which
wait,
we knew we would.
Oh, I brought a present. And I don't know how you want to give it away, but I brought a $25 Disney gift card because I just wanted to say thanks for letting me crash your awesome show and letting me be a part of your little Main Street Mouse family, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to give that to you to give to one of you guys for hanging out and letting me be a part of your show tonight.
Well, Cindy, that was super, super nice of you. And how are we going to give this away?
Do it the way Cindy does it on her show.
Oh,
Yeah, you do it.
okay. So on my show, Coffee Convo Wednesday, which you can find at I Am Cindy Simmons, or you actually just go to cindysimmons.com. You can link over there. But I do it every Wednesday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time. And our show, we talk about 3 things, lots of Disney, and I always give a present at the end. And so the way we do it is if you comment, how about you comment Main Street Mouse, and then tell us the name of the state where you're watching the show right now. So if you just type in the Main Street Mouse and then the name of the state where you're watching us right now, then Michelle and Scott will pick a winner, and they will announce the winner 1 week from today on the show.
Yes, perfect.
And then if you hear your name, then they will mail you the gift card. So
That works out perfect that way. So, like, just to repeat, since this is the first time we're doing it this way, put the Main Street Mouse and then where you are watching this from, and then we will pick somebody and tell you next week who gets the gift card. That was really nice of you. Thank you.
Well, it was really nice of you to have me on. It's been fun hanging out with you and reminiscing and talking about years and you know. All
And
stuff.
so I'm thinking that you need to come back another time and do this again. What do you guys think? I think that you were the perfect co-host.
Oh, thank you. I think I will come back as long as you come back on my show too, because I had so much fun with you last week, and I knew that this was going to be another round of fun.
You got a deal.
Okay.
You got a deal. So I
And thanks for my ears too.
You're welcome. And then before we go, also, the Darth Vader Steins from last week. We had 2 winners, Chuck Berlinger and Ashley Johns. You are our winner of our Darth Vader cups. So please send us your address, and we will mail you your new Star Wars prize, and we really appreciate that.
And if you don't claim your prize, Scott said that I can have it.
And Scott, do you want to do your rundown?
I was going to do the upcoming events that we have going on.
Oh, we do have an upcoming event, so go ahead.
So if you see on the screen now, or it will be in one moment, this weekend we're actually going to be in Huntsville, Alabama, for the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo 2019. Our friend Jeremy, who I believe is still watching, it's his con. They're in Huntsville, so we will be there all weekend. So please come out. Go check out their website, hsvexpo.com, where you can get information about tickets, times, such. One of the big things we're looking forward to is Jim Cummings is going to be there. Actually, the Disney voice talent who did Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, many of the Disney voices. He will be there. So we're gonna hopefully grab him and talk to him for a few minutes and maybe get some video for you guys to see us talking to him. Also, 2 weeks from this weekend, we will be doing Spooky Empire here in Orlando. If you remember, we did Spooky in October around Halloween time, and now it's their spring show. So we'll be doing that the 22nd through the 24th at Wyndham Orlando Resort. You can get more information about that at spookyempire.com.
Okay.
Ooh, can I also tell people, if you live in Orlando, you can listen to me every day on Z88.3 from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can listen online too at zradio.com.
I was just going to tell you, tell my people where to find you. So you jump me on that one. Where else can they find you?
You can just go to cindysimmons.com and link over to all of my socials there rather than run them all up. If you go to cindysimmons.com, you can link to the radio station there. You can link to, all of my socials there and connect there, because I would love to connect with you on Instagram. And I would love for you guys to check out my Z88.3 show if you can. And you don't even have to live in Orlando, because you can go to zradio.com or download the app.
And her Instagram page is really cute, so make sure you look her up.
Okay, and I'm going back to me.
Back to you.
No, we wanted to mention again about TMSM Radio.
Oh, yes.
It is doing fantastic. Sponsored by Kingdom Strollers, who's been Main Street Mouse sponsor since day one. Really, Matt and his staff and his wife over there, they've been great to us. So you can go to your app store, either Apple or the Google Play Store, and download TMSM Radio. Download that, listen to it. It's completely free for you to listen to. People are telling us they love it. It's never the same song at the same time of day. We mix it up. At nighttime, you'll hear what am I trying to? What's the name? Happily Ever After. That's the name of the song at night. Followed by Wishes. You can also hear the monorail song, the loop on the monorail. Them just.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Yes. So all that.
Por favor.
We also have Tapestry of Nations in the mix there. Festival of Fantasies Parade. So all kinds of things, Spectral Magic. So all kinds of things that'll bring you back. Main Street Electrical Parade is on there. So if you want to just download it and take a listen, let us know what you think. We'd appreciate any feedback you have. We are trying to add new songs weekly and put them in the rotation, so it should never be the same song at the same time of day.
And
ever.
it's free. Did we mention it's free?
It's completely
so you
free.
Get free magic from wherever you're at any time of day.
It's so good.
Right.
We love it in our house.
All right, what else?
And I was gonna give them our social media. So
what else you got?
if you're following us on Facebook already, you're following us at The Main Street Mouse, but you can also follow us on Instagram at The Main Street Mouse. On YouTube, it's The Main ST Mouse. Please make sure to hit the bell there and subscribe also, so you get notified when we go live or if we have a new video uploaded. And on Twitter, it's just Main Street Mouse.
Yes. So follow us all those places if you haven't yet. Follow my good friend Cindy Simmons as well. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and then you coming to do ours. Yes.
And just one more, just for
And one more thing.
one more thing. You can follow Michelle on Instagram at Michelle M Atwood. She did recently change it, but if you were following her before, you're still following her. You don't have to go like a new page. She just changed her name, so it's at Michelle M Atwood. You can also follow myself at TMSM Avenger. I changed mine also. I got rid of the underscore. But like I said, if you're already following me, you don't have to change. Or you don't have to go like a new page. You're all set.
Yeah, we're all like mixing things up. Actually, we're trying to make it easier for you to find our stuff. So.
And we're working on getting YouTube. We're going to hopefully get that changed to The Main Street Miles here within the next week or so. So YouTube will be that. Because we have both channels.
Yes. Okay, so we got it covered then?
I think that's the whole rundown.
Oh.
I'm looking. I don't have any more photos to throw up there. So I think that's all of them, but you never know.
That is all. So I hope you enjoyed our show this week. I hope you come back and watch us again next Monday night. And please check out Cindy on Wednesdays on her Facebook page as well. So thank you so much, Cindy.
Thanks for having me.
And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.